How are
it's so
you?
funny because we already said hi, but now we're saying hi after the countdown. So, hi, Mario, Dawson. I know. Welcome to the private lounge. All of us
Thank
enjoy
you.
the private
Thank you.
lounge. It's so glad we're finally able to do this. I want to apologize to you because we've been trying to connect and I've been busy and I think I left you hanging one day. So I'm just going to publicly apologize.
There's
Um,
no apology. No apologies needed. I know what time it is. It's all love. It's all good. We're fine.
You're so
So
awesome. So can we go back to what we were just talking about though about
yeah,
Hollywood
let's
for a
do it.
little bit? Like,
Yeah.
and we don't have to name names, but this whole kind of concept I thought was an interesting thing that the thing I
Yeah.
hate about this town is people will always say, "Oh, I'm happy to help you. Absolutely. Let's meet for lunch or give me
Yes.
your number." And then they don't show up or they,
And they never call. Or yeah, absolutely. I got you. You're the best. Yeah, pal. Love you. Mean it. Bye. But and then you're looking for, especially as a young person, because I remember being my niece's age and her saying, me saying, "Oh God, I'm really excited about this. I really hope, like what that show. I hope I get it. I really hope I get it.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
But and then you do stuff, and then you're disappointed. And so, and I've had actually another. Here's a fun fact about me that you didn't know.
Oh, let's
Years
see.
ago, years ago, back in the 1990s, back in the 1900s.
1900.
Um,
We are that old, huh?
We are that old. Back in the 1900s, I did a commercial for the Canadian Opera, and I sang with some very probably pretty important people
Okay.
for me back then. I don't know. Do you remember? Did you ever see the movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin
Oh, yeah,
Lawrence?
of course,
Okay,
of
there's a
course.
gentleman in there. He's a really big black guy, bald, and his name is Michael Talaferro, but we called him Bear.
Okay.
He was the one in the movie that
Yeah,
says, "You gonna eat your
yeah.
cornbread?" Okay,
Okay.
Michael was a Bear was a friend of ours, so he actually introduced me kind of into the industry. So by me doing meeting him, he in turn introduced me to Valerie. I can't remember Valerie's last name. You remember Club Nouveau? They sing "Lean on
Oh,
Me."
yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
the, the hip hop version. So I ended up hooking up with Valerie and some other really important singers, and we sang a song, and we ended up recording a commercial for the Canadian Opera.
Okay.
Yeah, so something you
I
didn't
did
know.
not know this. I know, I did not
Yeah.
know.
And
Okay.
so Michael, in turn, he was a big promiser. Um, May he rest in peace.
Oh, I was
Um,
just gonna say you're saying was. I didn't know if you'd ended your friendship. Okay,
yeah,
but
no,
he has passed on.
he is no longer in this life. He's on to the next one.
Mhm.
But while he was here, I think I got disillusioned by him because he was
Mhm.
hustling to get in the game. Like through him, I met Terrence Howard when Terrence Howard wasn't Terrence Howard. I met a
Right.
lot of people coming up because they would all come to his house. We would all be at his house playing cards in the studio, having a good time. But he would
I'm
make me promises.
I just realized that the background wasn't on.
Oh,
I want us to be pretty. Okay,
oh.
go ahead. It comes in halfway. It was all about us anyway, the
It
beautiness,
was all about
We
me.
don't need the background, but I just threw a little
No, haven't you
um,
met me? It's all about me. What are you
it's
talking
all
about?
about you. It is, baby. So he was a big promiser. You got disillusioned.
I got disillusioned because I realized in this industry, everybody's trying to get a leg up and they'll do whatever they need to do to get a leg up, whether it be using other people
Yep.
or, and unfortunately stepping on people and bringing and pulling them down to lift themselves up. And that was a hard lesson for me to learn at probably, I was 22, 23 years old. And
Mhm.
I'm thinking somebody's really going to help me out in this industry and really get my back. But then I look at him and I look at his resume and I'm like, oh, he's in there. But then I look at his resume and I'm like, but he's really not in there because
Right.
he's not working consistently. So you really don't have the connections that you promised.
Well, I think it's also so. Here's what I always tell people, because being in this industry in the low level that I'm at, I'm just going to say it that way. I
Right.
work for people who are in the industry, but um,
Right.
I think there's also kind of there's almost like a rite of passage that everybody has to go through this. And I have met some big time people who have promised me directly that they would help me with something. And then when I called them out on it, they acted like they didn't even know who I was. Like they didn't return
Right.
a phone number. They didn't.
Right.
I remember calling, there's this one guy whose name I will not mention because he's big time. But
Hmm.
we met at a party. It was a mutual friend's like 70th birthday party or something. You know what I mean? And long story short, he's a relative of that person. And he saw me at the party and I was sitting there by myself, I didn't know anybody. So I was just waiting. And it was a surprise party, a huge surprise party. And, I was having a drink of like whatever, water or whatever, because you don't make a fool out of yourself. You know what I
No,
mean? So I
of
was just drinking
course.
water or whatever.
No.
And he came over and started talking to me. And I didn't know by looking at him who he was.
Hmm.
But as we started talking, he said, "What do you do?" And then I said, "What do you do?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm just a writer." And I'm like, "Oh, have I read what you've written?" He's like, "Well, probably not, whatever." And I was like,
Hmm.
"Try me. I'm not a big book reader," but he's like, "No, no,
Right.
no, scripts." And so he mentions at the time one of the top TV dramas on television that he has won.
Really.
Like the minute he told me what it was, I'm like, "Did you do this episode?" Because I'm a huge fan of the show. Okay.
Mm.
Huge fan. And we started to, he was like, "I can't believe you know the show." I was like, "How does anyone, I could throw a rock and hit anybody, everybody would know the show." And he's like,
Right.
"Well, this is my family." I was like, "Well, okay, whatever."
Okay. Well, there you go.
We talked. I sat with him and his wife. We were chit chatting. We exchanged emails and phone numbers. I sent him a copy of the book, The Prophet, because we had talked. I love it's one of my favorite books. I sent him,
Hmm.
because I was like, "Thank you so much. It was so nice to talk to you." Because I was like, "Okay, good. I made a nice network." I told a couple of my best friends, I'm like, "I think I finally found somebody." Like he said he would help me get some background work in this show. I wasn't
Mm.
even being like, "Can you get me an audition for whatever?" I was like, "Can you just get me
Right.
that man?" And I'll tell you off air. I'll tell you who it is. You're gonna be like, unbelievable. Yep. And here's the thing: I even called the mutual friend because she was so upset. She's like, "Let me call him." And he was just like, "I don't think there's anything I can do for her." I'm like, that is so ghetto. I'll never forget it. Yeah.
It was really chicken shit. That's really what it is. Let's call it what it
But
is.
it's
Because
so, but I don't even know what the point is. Like, I don't make promises or I don't tell people I can help them if I can't, I'll give you what
no.
I can, but I can only do so much, right? I can't.
Yeah.
But it's like, why would you say yes if you really have no interest?
But see, I think people have big, especially in the movie and television industry, they have become so accustomed to just being false promisers because you're smoozing basically you're having a good kiki you're net quote unquote networking because
Mhm.
they want to have you in their back pocket if they need you, not if you need them, and they
Oh, that's a good point.
because they want to step on people always want a leg up, and I've learned that the hard way. People in this industry that I've encountered, they they feel like you have to pay your dues, but who is to say what your dues are?
Yeah.
And
I
then
think
who,
I mean, it might also be, it depends on what level too. Like there are people I work for who are good people and they would totally have no problem helping someone if they can. You know what I mean?
right,
But I do think you're right. I think there is this kind of, I didn't think about it that way. Like they're saying good things about you or connecting with you because they might need you in the future. Oh, I would love for this mofo to contact me.
he said, I wish he would. I
Look at
wish
here's the
he
thing. I'm not
would.
even at a level where he would ever do that because he's like, I mean, like he is who he is. I'll tell you offline.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I mean, I would love someday just because I would be like, because you know what I would do? How can I help you?
Right,
I would help your ass in a heartbeat because I'd be like,
right.
I'm gonna be better than you are, you dumb motherfucking piece of shit. Oh, sorry, this is your private lounge. And I was like, We're having the real conversation.
Listen, this is who we are, because we can't talk like this with everybody. Everybody can't handle it, you know.
I know. But
You,
yeah, it's oh, I can't wait to tell you. I'm gonna tell you who it is. You're gonna be like, no, you're gonna be shocked. I hope I don't ruin the show for you. It ruined
no,
the show for me a bit.
listen. You have to remember who you're talking to.
I know,
I'm
go ahead.
like I'm not surprised. Nothing surprises me. It surprises me when someone is kind to me in this industry. That's what surprises me
Oh,
because,
see, that's a
and
sad thing.
I'm so jaded. I'm like, okay, if they're great, if they're nice, then wonderful. I think that's wonderful. But I'm expecting something else.
Ah, I guess in a way I don't know. I guess I just see it differently now. Maybe because I've stopped pursuing the performing part on that level.
Right.
So, I made my money doing voiceover work and I did some acting stuff, but it's just, it's like you got to choose at some point. Like, as much as I would still love to be doing that on a regular basis, I got to pay my bills.
That's
You know what I
it.
mean? And so
Listen.
you make that choice. But yeah, I guess, yeah, I totally can understand that. But let's
Yeah.
start with you. Let's go back a little bit. And I know, well, the private lounge is a place for me to get to know people a little bit better, a little bit deeper, a little bit more.
Let's go. What you want to know?
Well,
I'm pretty.
we already had a conversation with you when you first came on the show. So that is on YouTube. People can look that up and
Yeah.
talked about some stuff. But maybe you want to give us just a little bit of recap how we met. Um, Unless
Okay.
you don't want to, and then also just a little bit about I mean, I don't wanna focus on your surgeries, but I don't know
No,
how
you don't have
important
to.
that is about
But they are part of who I've become. So
that's why I ask. I don't
no,
want
no,
it
no.
to always be Maurio.
I never shy away
Okay.
from my health issues. I never shy away from um telling my experiences. I'm really open about that because I've actually learned that by sharing my story multiple times, someone hears something new that triggers them to help someone else.
That's right.
I Perfect example, like Rick, he's like, Maria, I just wanted to let you know I went ahead and signed up to be a donor if something
Yeah, he
happened. I'm
told me
like,
that
that's
after I met
simple.
you.
That's great. Someone reached out to me because of your show and
Right.
said I signed up because I heard what you went through.
Yeah.
So, it each one teach one, give one, pass it on. I'm fine with it.
So, why don't you tell people what you're talking about? Because a lot of people don't know. I just said surgery.
Sure. Sure. I was diagnosed with renal failure the first time in when I was 20, oh God, 25 years old.
Wow.
And I got married at 26 and
Wow.
I couldn't go on I went on a honeymoon that would accommodate my dialysis. So I had to go to San Diego.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we
And
love
so
San Diego, but you're from here, so
we love San Diego. It's great. Whoo, San Diego. Love
woo-hoo.
you.
We do. We love San Diego, but you're from California,
But I'm
so
from LA. So,
right.
no, let me change that. I'm from Inglewood.
That's
Be
right.
specific.
That's right.
Inglewood all day, every day, stand
That's
up.
right.
So,
Right.
yeah, I'm from Inglewood, born and raised in LA. However, San Diego was great, but I was so sick that I actually collapsed
Oh,
at
wow.
The San Diego Zoo Wild Animal Park. We just gotten
Oh,
off,
man.
that little roundabout train or
Yeah.
whatever. I got off and collapsed right there as soon as I stepped off.
Oh.
So my honeymoon wasn't even really that great, but because of that, because I was on dialysis. Um, I, you go through a lot on dialysis. Fast forward, I got my first transplant kidney transplant in 2000, September 11th of 2000. Right.
Really? It was
Um,
September 11th of 2000, a year
right.
before the towers. Wow.
Yeah, a year before 9/11. So
Oh,
I woke up that next year. And of course we got the news. I'm celebrating my year anniversary and
right.
I wake up and then I turn on the TV and I can tell you exactly where I was. I was in my apartment when the first plane hit. So,
Yeah.
but back to this. So my first, and for most people, just to be clear, a lot of people lose their kidneys due to diabetes or some other type
Mhm.
of, major illness, lupus, so many other things. However, mine was a rare case of I had strep throat a lot as a kid, and because I had strep throat, I didn't know that strep can lie dormant in your organs because
Oh,
if you don't kill it completely, like perfect example, the doctor says, what is it? Sorry, is the doctor says, um, you have strep, take all your medicine, don't skip one pill, take it. And
right,
you like, oh, I feel better. You leave the last 2 or 3 pills, and you forget.
right,
Well, yeah, you feel better, but you didn't cure yourself.
right.
So, and I used to get strep as a kid a lot. It felt like every 3 or 4 months I was getting strep throat. And so finally, I was became an adult, and then when they did the biopsy, that's when they discovered that the strep had lied dormant in my organs, and it laid specifically in my kidneys, and that's how my kidneys began to fail.
Wow.
So, so I didn't have high blood pressure, didn't have diabetes, still
Diabetes.
don't have them.
Right.
None of those major triggers. So a successful surgery. The surgery was rough for me. I have a low tolerance for pain. So needless to say, I was acting a fool. Oh,
Mhm.
a whole ass fool, but that's okay. We got through it.
I would be too, though. So I
'Cause
don't.
it's not like it's just a little cut like that. It is a giant J cut.
Right.
So it's major. So
Yeah.
then I had that. Um,
When were you working at City National Bank? Oh, can we say the name of the bank? I can bleep it out. What?
no,
Oh,
I worked at City National Bank. It's
oh,
on
okay.
my
When
resume.
were you working there that I met you? Because it was after your first, right? I
Mm,
after your
you
first
met you
surgery.
met me probably 2000.
I was at brand new school in 2000, but
Yeah,
I probably didn't meet you till
like
2001 or so, right?
2001. I think
Right.
that's whenever I think, yeah, I started working at CNB, I believe in 2000, because you
Okay.
guys, yeah, 2000, because no, is it 2000? Yeah, because my daughter was born in '03.
Oh, yeah, so
So
it had to be like 2000, 2001. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was
That's right.
like, and
That's
because you came to the baby shower, so
right.
and
Right,
you
when
came
she was still in the
in the
womb.
womb.
That's right.
Hmm.
That's when I met her and graced
Yeah,
my presence on her. No, so I'm just kidding.
beamed your light of love.
Um, yeah, so you worked as a principal banker over at CMB, and that's how you and I met. And we just became
Yeah.
friends because I don't know why. Because we were on the phone, and back then it wasn't like webcams or anything, but we
No,
just
we were
get
just
off
on
on
the
the
phone
phone.
chopping it up. We had no idea what each other looked like, but
So,
we connected on the phone because both of
but
our
I knew you were
bosses.
black. You knew I was black. That we knew
Yes, yes. I was like, listen, let me tell you. And I'm like, look, and then after we would do our work, then we still stay on the phone and say, listen, let me tell you what's going on. You know, that my supervisor, JC,
I never talked about work at all, and neither did
mm-mm.
you. We loved our companies and
Yeah.
wonderful places to work. I think you were
No,
the person
listen,
that I complained to all the time because I didn't have
listen.
anybody for a long time. I didn't have any assistance, any help because that's when we were just starting out.
Yes,
I was
I know.
overloaded. I was
I
over.
know, because you were calling me to make sure the transfers were done. And see,
Mhm.
now mind you, I was just, I was a senior assistant to the major bankers, because like I was working for the senior vice president and stuff like that. So I was just your principal contact for everything to do your day-to-day stuff. So, and my boss's boss were Exhausting.
They were lovely, lovely people, I'm sure.
Lies, 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 all lies.
Look, I ended up quitting Brandy School. I hated being there,
I remember.
and I'll never talk to Jonathan ever again. Probably, I'm in touch with a lot of the guys from there still, but most everyone who was everyone who was an original partner of the company has left.
You're
Uh,
kidding.
I was the first one. I quit on the spot. I was done. Yeah.
I remember when you said, you know what, I'm out.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. So we'll do a private lounge and we'll talk about me, but let's
You,
keep
you,
going.
you, you, you.
Yeah. So you had your first transplant. You were doing so much better. You're wonderful. I don't want to get to the second part yet. I want to talk about some other stuff. I want to talk about the birth of your daughter and the love of your life, Alma, and just what I think you have a very different perspective on living, if I can be so bold.
Yeah, go
Um,
ahead.
and I just wanted to ask, do you think having your situation with your health, if that changed the way in which you look at life, or if it did, doesn't really matter because you seem to be such an optimistic, wonderfully beautiful person anyways. I was just always curious about that.
No, I was actually the opposite. I was very pessimistic about life. I was very
When I met
depressed.
you?
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
not when you met me, no, but prior to that, like when I was going through when I first was diagnosed with renal failure, I was engaged. And so I literally broke up with him. And because I was like, yo, I'm like, I don't think this is gonna work. I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. I don't want to put you through this. This is unfair to you. It's
mm,
not that I don't love you, but I think it's just better for you to go on with your life. Find somebody who can make you happy. Find somebody who can give you everything you need because I don't think I'm going to be able to give that to you. And uh, my wife said,
mm.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving you. I'm right here. She's like, I loved you from the moment you walked in the door and I didn't even know your name. She said, she told her best friend, she said, who is that man? Because I'm going to marry him. Literally, she'll tell anybody that. She said, because I was working at Bank of America at the time. I had on my suit and I had on my trench coat, and I was walking in to see a friend of hers. And I was like, is Diamond here? So I walked through the living room and to Diamond's room, and Emma was sitting at the
Right.
table with her friend. And she looked over at her friend and she said, who is that? Because I'm going to marry him.
Oh, I know I'm getting like you know me. I'm so
Yeah, yeah,
emotional about
yeah.
the story because I just love it so much. But because I remember when I met her, she just gave me a hug. I mean,
Yeah,
like and I had never really
yes.
spoken to her, or whatever. But she's just such a lovely human being, and the love between you
Hmm.
kind of makes me nauseous. I'll just tell you. I'm just gonna be straight up. Like that's
Quit
just
it.
hey,
Listen,
I
after
gotta
20,
be straight up.
we don't be Nazis because it takes work because we've been together. We've been together for 29 years,
Oh, that's
and
beautiful.
we'll be married 26 on the 4th of July.
Oh,
So
I love this. That's so
yeah,
beautiful. Wow.
yeah. So I told her I tried to break up with her. She wouldn't break up with me. She said, we're still gonna get married. We got married. And it was beautiful. We had a wonderful reception over in Alhambra at this place called Manza Court. We got
Okay.
married. We got married on the 4th of July. We had an indoor outdoor reception. So
Uh,
it was at a country club. So the 4th of July, they had
mhm.
fireworks there. So we literally walked out and we have wedding
Oh,
photos.
so
We have wedding
nice.
photos with fireworks over our heads. So
That's
we're
beautiful.
standing on a hill with fireworks explosions. They're in our wedding album.
That is
So,
so
yes, and I didn't have to pay for them either.
great.
So
You don't have to pay for no extra fireworks at the
I ain't
wedding.
paying for no extra fireworks, but okay, because we got them, we might as well take advantage.
It's so funny because I only have a few friends that I use as examples of like beautiful marriages. Like, there's no point in being in a relationship if you can't have what you have, you know. And I'm not saying it's easy.
It
Clearly,
ain't
you
easy.
guys have not had an easy life.
No.
I know, but it's there's such a friendship between you. There's such a I love the friendship between the two of you, and I feel like your daughter has embodied a lot of that. I have not seen this beautiful child, which I'm just so disappointed in myself over it. But
Listen. Your announcement has been written out. I have your address, and I just need to put stamps on everything, and the announcements are already coming out. So yours is in that stack over there on the table.
oh, I'm so
So
excited.
it's
Um,
coming.
but that's not what I meant. I meant, but your daughter seems to have the same spirit that you both have about life.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Um, and the reason I say yes and no is because Marissa had to endure all of our health, both mine and Alma's health challenges, because a
Mm.
lot of people. Well, I don't know if you know this, but my wife has myasthenia gravis, so
I don't even know what that is, and I had no idea.
it's a muscle deteriorating disease that can affect her walking. She had a surgery when she was 9 years old to kind of reverse it for a
Mhm,
while, but
mhm.
it's starting to come back now in her later age.
Oh, come on.
So she's having some trouble walking and things like has muscle difficulties and things like that. But so between my second transplant, me losing my first transplant, me being going back on dialysis for 8 years for her life. 8 years. I
You
put
were
that
on
stuff in.
dialysis for 8 years after the first wow, I didn't
After so I got my first transplant and it lasted until 2009. So that's
know.
Marissa was 6. And
Wow.
I had to go into the hospital on her 6th birthday.
Oh my
We celebrated her birthday in the hospital. So, like, literally, my mom and my friends and
right.
everything, they all came to my hospital room and cut cake in
Celebrate
the
her
hospital
birthday.
to
Oh.
celebrate her birthday.
So,
So,
so why? I mean, I know why, but now because
mm,
you, but why did you end up having to get like what happened to the first transplant that you ended up
it's
having?
not, it's like you have to go get blood work, every 3 to 6 months to just check to see how things are going, make sure your levels are straight. I noticed some swelling in my legs. I noticed that my urine output was starting to decrease. There was like, other symptoms that really I don't need to let everybody
Right,
know, but there were symptoms
right.
that were starting to show up. And so as I was going to the doctor, the first nephrologist I was going to, he was not the business. He was saying, okay, just take some fish oil and some other stuff. He said, because when you're starting to lose your transplant, it's like a leaking oil pan. It's like the leak is there.
Okay.
That really that was his analogy. He said it's like a slow leak, and you can't really find a leak, and so it's nothing you can really do about it. But you can take some things to try to slow it down. But
Okay.
it was basically inevitable. So I tried to ride it out as long as I can. I got really, really sick and I ended up in the hospital. And that's when they told me I lost that transplant. And then they had to rush to do something to get fistulas in my arm, which is, I don't know if you can see all my
Yeah.
scars.
Yeah.
So, I got a lot of them. See, I
Right.
got a lot. I got a lot. So,
Wow.
because I want people to really understand. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it's a lot. I got
Yeah.
a lot of scars. So they have to cut into your arms, create fistulas, which are sometimes natural fistulas are when they take your artery and the main vein and they connect it together so the blood from the artery pushes into the vein to make the vein larger so they can
Yeah.
put the needles in so you can do dialysis. So just
No, I'm just sad. Like I'm not. I'm just sad that you've gone through all this, and then I'm also weirdly proud of you. Like it's weird to hear you because I'm like, I think I would have given up. I don't know.
listen,
A lot.
I gave up a lot, and it wasn't easy because throughout the years of being on dialysis, there would be times where they would take off too much fluid. I would come home, I would collapse on the floor. There was a time where I fell down at the top of the stairs and almost came down the stairs. Luckily, Amma was in the kitchen. My dog, Nala, shout out to Nala. My dog
Shout out to her.
said she saw me and she ran up the stairs and she came to try to nudge me and she ran back down the stairs. She's barking and losing her mind to the point where she ran to get Alma. She's like barking incessantly, and that's not who she is because my dog is literally laying here next to me. So
Right.
you wouldn't know
Quietly.
she's here. So she was barking incessantly, and so Alma just came out and she said, Mari. And so she not only kept running to the stairs and running up the stairs, running up and down to get her attention. So Alma caught me. She came and saw me at the top of the stairs.
Thank God.
Yeah. So it's just like, that's just one example. There was so many examples where, like I said, Marissa had to watch me go through transitions, and then um, I finally get my next transplant in 2017. Everything's going well, but now my heart is acting up.
Well,
I
your heart's been through a lot. I mean,
Yeah, because I was on dialysis so long. Most dialysis patients get enlarged hearts. So,
oh,
and then not only do you get an enlarged heart, but you also have. I ended up going into atrial fibrillation, where your heart skips a beat and all that stuff. So I
yeah.
thought I was going to have to get a pacemaker or anything like that. So the doctors, I had to see a cardiothoracic surgeon.
Mm.
His name is Dr. Armin Kiankui. He was the best. He is the best man for the job
Wow.
ever. I,
Okay.
yeah, I would tell anybody that.
What's his
If you
name
look,
again? Let's say his name again.
Dr. Armin, Armin Kiankui, and it's Khan Kiankui. Look him up, Google it.
Can't
But
cool. Yeah, just look him up. We love him.
yeah,
Okay.
we
All right.
love him. But anyway, he went in and they had to do what they call a mains procedure, which is they have to go through like fine needling the veins in your heart
Oh, okay.
to try to open everything up to see if they can open everything up, and then basically they have to cauterize some areas and to try to get your heart to beat in regular rhythm. Well, now normally for the normal person, Dr. Kian Cooley said that's like a 4 hour surgery. It's no big deal.
Right.
Get in, get out. Well, mine was almost 12.
Oh my goodness.
And so because it was so long, they had to put me in a medically induced coma.
Oh my goodness.
And so,
Mario. I didn't know this part. Wow.
yeah, so I had to be put into a coma. And then my friends were there. And then again, we were talking about Marissa. So then Marissa comes in and she's trying to
How
talk
old
to
is she
me.
now? 7? 6?
No, Marissa's in high school by this
Oh,
point.
she's nice. Oh, the second one,
No,
right.
no, let's see. No, middle school because um I got my transplant in 2017. So no, she was in middle school.
Middle school. Okay. Okay.
She was in middle school and she was just freaking out. And she came
Oh,
in and just imagine, not only do I have, tubes in my mouth, but I also had tubes out my sides. So there's
yeah.
tubes coming out of me everywhere. Like I look like an X-Men cartoon. So
Right. And not in a good
um
way. Right.
and not in a great way.
Yeah.
So she had to come in and see that, and my wife said it really did something to her,
Wow.
um,
Okay.
because that was the first time. Well, it wasn't the first time, but it was one of the times where my mortality really came into play, and they
Right.
weren't
Right.
sure
Right.
what was going to happen. And so, growing up like that, it imprints on her, you
Yeah.
know. So
Sure.
she's positive because we insisted that she keep going. We insisted. We're like, look, this your struggle. My struggle is not your struggle.
That's
Your
right.
response.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I told her your responsibility is to get to the finish line, no matter what that looks like. But you don't stop because I stop.
It looks like she's already on her way because she's already knocked out. I'm sorry. What just happened the other day? Let's talk
What?
about it.
Let's talk about it. My daughter got her degree from Pepperdine University on April
Hey!
20. Shout out to Pepperdine, April 27th at 10:30 a.m. at Alumni Park in Malibu, California. And her name was called Miss Marissa Luce Dawson for a Bachelor's of Arts degree in Integrated Marketing Communication. Boom. And
Wow.
what? And how old is she? 20 years old. Boom.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Boom.
20. That's right.
She's only 20. She won't be
Yeah.
21 until next week.
Are you afraid of her turning 21?
No, because she okay,
She's not a big
let's
drinker, right? So it's
well,
all.
okay, you gotta also remember she lived in Switzerland for a year.
Oh, that's right. She's already an adult. She's done. Yeah.
She's done. So it's like, you
Yeah.
can't be disrespectful in my home. But
Right.
she was away from
You would
me
never be disrespectful in your home. Look at
every
I'm just saying.
every teenager tries it, okay?
Okay, okay, but she's
She
20. She's gonna be 21.
she listen, every kid tries
Okay,
it.
I don't have children, so I ain't gonna say a
Mm-mm.
word.
Listen, every kid tries it. Not just mine.
Right, right, right.
Ask anybody who's a parent.
Yep.
Every kid will
I
try it.
just have such high hopes for her. I don't know why. I'm always so I think because I'm in awe of you and Alma, you know what I mean? The love you guys have, and just
Mhm.
knowing you as a friend, just how cool and chill you are, even with all this stuff going on around you. I just have
Yeah.
always loved the idea that, she's perfect. Marissa's perfect.
Marissa is far from perfect.
I'm just saying,
Far.
in my little clouded judgment of not
Yeah, no, I
having,
mean, but listen, but you know what? She's not perfect, but neither am I. I was not the perfect father. I didn't get it right all the time. There, and Alman
who
is not the
does?
yeah, but the thing is, because Marissa, if you meet her, everyone will tell you Marissa looks like her mom, but she acts like her dad, which
Oh,
is
I
a
love that.
is not a good thing
Right.
because
I think there are some good things probably about that. I would
well,
love to, you know what? Maybe at some point when if she has time, I'd love to have a conversation with her to get her point
oh,
of.
she listen, Marissa, she's a little too open. I'm like,
Oh, really?
she's a
Okay,
little
whatever on then
too
without
open.
your permission.
Yeah, she's a little too open, I think.
Yeah,
But because um, she she has been pushed, to succeed,
yeah,
and because I think I was afraid that I wasn't going to be here, so
yeah.
therefore I pushed harder, probably more than I should have. But
Mm.
we did allow her to be a kid, but we also had to make sure that she was prepared
Here's the one
because
thing I do know. Here's the one thing I do
hmm
know, and I will speak on this, being that I'm
hmm
not a parent, right? Because I am the auntie of all aunties. I have 6 godchildren. You know what I mean? Like, okay,
yeah,
here's my thing. There is not one parent I know that gets it right because being
mm-mm.
a parent isn't about being a perfect adult in a child's life. It's about parenting, and you got to do the best
No,
you can with the tools you have in front of you, you know?
yeah. And
So,
see, a friend of I think a friend of mine, no, it was my grandmother. My grandmother told me, she said, "Baby, she said, as a parent from the age of from birth to 18, you are a provider. From
mm.
18 into adulthood, you are an advisor. That's
Oh,
it."
I
She
love it.
she said, "That's it." She said, "So you done your so I've done my job to provide for her up until 18. Now I'm providing more because she's done the work to
Mhm.
deserve extra help. And my wife are
Can
gonna
you
we
send me some extra help?
listen. All I could do is pray for you.
I'm gonna pray for you, Carmen. I'm
I
like,
pray for you, friend. I can pray for you.
well, I think
Yeah.
it's a tough time for kids too, though. I guess now, although I think a lot of them whine too much. I have to tell you, there's a part of me that's like, oh my god, it wasn't easy for any because again, they don't know who they're talking to, so it's hard for
Mhm.
me for people to be complaining. I was saying this the other day on the show. I have a friend whose kid is upset because they can't buy a house because the economy, the this, and they're like 24, 25 years old. I'm like, I don't know anybody who owned a house at 24, 25 years old. I don't own my house. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
that's for sure.
I got it. My parents did. My parents are very young,
But
but
you
that was a
still,
different time.
it's different. I'm just saying there's
Yeah,
a lot of whining going on right now. And
yeah.
it's always a tough time to be a kid and then a teenager and then a young adult and then into adulthood. It's always hard. It's not
Well,
easy.
the trick for the one thing I will say about Marissa was that she took the opportunity to take the advice of her godmother because my our best friend Jen is a financial advisor and a financial planner.
Fantastic.
So she has done financial planning not only for herself but she has really big clients. So she takes the time. She's done it for all three of her kids. All three of her kids are doing extremely well. So Marissa said, "Hey, Aunt Jen, I need help," and she did this before graduation.
So
This
smart.
so
So
she did it before graduation. She when she first got her job offer, and Jen said, "Okay, how much you gonna get? How much you negotiate?" She did really well with her negotiations, I must say, for a first time corporate
oh,
job. She did really
fantastic.
well. So Aunt Jen said, "Okay, this is how much you make. This is how much. This is your spending plan. And this is how because she says she doesn't want to call it savings. She says spending plan.
I love it.
Um, so Marissa has that all together, and she has we said 2.5 year goal, 3 year goal to make sure she has X amount of dollars saved so she can do something. And I told her, I said, I don't want you to go out and buy a single family home. I said, I think it's important for you to buy a condo, at least a 2 bedroom condo.
Mhm.
Stay there, build up some equity, take the equity out, get something else, rent it out, have passive income.
So here's the thing though, I'm totally against all of that. I am against that.
Yeah,
But that's the whole thing. But that's
yeah,
because when I was making my buku money at brand new school, I was advised by a business manager because that's always the line. You got to invest in a condo. And I bought my condo, I think, I don't know if you ever came to it, but in Brentwood, I had my two
yeah. I
bedroom,
remember the
like
Brimo. Yeah,
across from O.J. Simpson, where he did not or did murder, you know.
whatever.
But we know he did. But anyways, we know he did. It was right across the street from there, basically, and it was a 600. And I think I bought it $640,000 2 bedroom overlooking the pool, gorgeous condo, whatever.
Hmm.
The economy, that was right in 2007, 2008, 2009, and the
Yeah.
economy went, and I lost it all. And I remember I put down $100,000 to that place. Yeah,
Wow.
that was a big mistake. I thought because I wanted lower mortgage payments. Anyways,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. It was one of those things where you learn, but I I mean, I do think I think it's good for young people to learn to invest and learn what to do with their money. I think that's a good thing. I don't know if the real estate market is as important as it used to be. Remember when we were growing up, you have to buy something, you have to blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I live by the beach. I couldn't afford to buy anything by the
By
beach.
the beach. Yeah, for sure. I just think and see, I think Marissa's big her truest desire in her heart, bless her soul, is that she wants to provide for her parents. Her biggest
And she knows that she has Auntie Carmen over here to provide for too. I'm just kidding.
exactly.
All of a sudden,
Exactly.
Auntie Carmen, never been in her life. Auntie Carmen.
That's how she got you. She got you. She got you.
I
We
was there
working
when
on it.
she was in the womb. I'm just
That's
saying.
it. That's it. She's working
I
on it.
love that. You know what? I think that's the way it should be. You raise your children. Your children should help you. You know what I mean? And in this country, we don't do that very well.
Yeah, I think it's great. However, um, I, I, because I said my daughter and I are so much alike. We bump heads. We get along. We love each other, but then we bump heads, and then I think that probably wouldn't be the route that I would take.
You don't
I
want
would
her to provide for you.
no, I don't want her. I don't want to live with her. She wants us to live with her. I'm like, I don't
Well,
want to live
that's
with you.
different. I didn't say nothing about living with people. You
No,
said provide for.
her idea of providing is making sure that we live with her, and then she can take care of
She talking
us.
about when you're in like your 90s or something
No, she talking about like in the
next
next few
week.
years.
Oh
Yeah,
God,
like
no.
if she could do that, I'm like,
She can send you a
no.
check, but you and Alma be fine living on your
Yeah,
own.
I'll be all right. I'm like, yeah, just put some money in my account and Zelle me something,
Tell
Venmo
me
me.
something. Oh, I didn't know she met in a few years. Oh, but bless her.
Yeah.
I mean, that's beautiful. Come on
And
now.
then she's like sending me houses to look at. I'm like, oh, honey, that's sweet.
Is she
Yeah.
really?
I swear. I
I love her.
swear.
You know how
Yeah.
many parents are watching this going, my kid ain't even thinking of us.
No, I mean, that's the one great thing because we've always instilled how important family is.
Yes.
And I think it's also very cultural because
Cultural.
on the Latin side, they believe in all
Yes, we
staying
do.
together.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But me, I'm not that way. My mama was black. My mom said, "You 18, you got to get out. You got to
Out the
go."
house. Right.
My
Yeah.
grandmother, bless her heart, when my mama graduated from high school, she bought her some luggage. So I swear, I
Bye.
swear. And so my mother first, when she left Arkansas, she moved to Kansas to be with my uncle. And then from Kansas, she moved to Detroit. And from Detroit, she moved somewhere else. I'm trying to think where it was. Chicago.
She
And then
was
from
always
Chicago,
moved.
and then she ended up in LA. And then she ended up reconnecting with my dad, which was ridiculous mistake of her life. But anyway, she ended up with my dad and got married. And, here I am. Uh,
Right.
but yeah.
Thankfully. Thankfully.
Yeah.
There you are.
Yeah.
All right,
Here I
let's change
am.
the subject a little bit. Let's change. I know we could talk all day, but I want
Listen.
to get some other things in.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so we're going to change the subject just a little bit, just to
Okay.
get some specifics. I At one point we were talking about The Color Purple. You said that was one of your favorite movies.
Still is.
Still is. Oh, you know that's I have three favorite movies. That's my number one. You know that,
That's
right?
my number one. Is all has
How
always
is
has
that
been.
possible that it's I thought you were just kind of bullshitting because that's my
No, 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 no. I swear that's been my favorite movie
okay. Can I tell you
because
why it's my favorite movie? And then
yeah, go ahead. Tell
because
me.
I remember when I saw it in the theater,
Hmm.
I had skipped school and I went to see it and I snuck in. I would always sneak in and watch a couple movies at a time, right? In
Hmm.
the whatever the movie plexes or whatever they were back
Yeah,
then.
the Cineplex.
I don't know if they were cineplexes back then, but anyway, whatever they were called back then in
Yeah.
Boston. And I remember watching it, and it was like first of all, the first time I saw all people of color, a story just about all people of color, black
Yeah.
people. And
Yeah.
then there's the line that I swear changed my life when Celie says, I may be poor, black, I may even be ugly, but dear God, I'm here. I'm
I'm
here.
here. I'm
And that
here.
has always been like, that was my transforming thing. And then the other part is the controversy back then with a Jewish man making a movie about black people. That was such a big deal. People were so upset. And I was like, don't we want to? First of all, Alice Walker allowed him to do this, but let's just skip
Yeah.
over that because people don't know
Yeah.
about the book. But I was
Right.
like, I want to get to a place where someone can tell stories about people. You know what I mean? Like, and
But
not
you know what? I think, and when I listened to his interview, he didn't want it. He absolutely did not.
afterwards, right? But I
Yeah,
was
he
mad
did.
at him in that interview when he said that if he were to do it
Well,
today,
you know what? I don't. I'm not mad at him. I respect that because he knew that it really wasn't in his lane, but because they had a vision for the book that they felt he could bring forth, and he did a wonderful job in terms of telling the story through the lens of what Alice Walker wrote versus the musical.
but he didn't do
Um,
the musical. He didn't do the musical.
no, he was a producer on it though.
Yeah, he's a
Uh,
producer, but I think that was more of a guilt thing. Like, okay, so here's my
Well, no,
take.
he still owned the rights. That's
Yeah, but
why.
I love Steven
Yeah.
Spielberg. I know everything about Steven Spielberg. I love him. Like he
Yeah, I
is
do too.
everything. Here's my thing about him. He had said, and I do respect. He he did Schindler's List. And what
Hmm.
he said was as a Jewish man, as a Jewish director, as a person who and his family and the Holocaust, nobody else could tell that story in the way in which he did that story. And that's what he was trying to say, that The Color Purple would be a different movie if a black man or black woman had written it. And that was his whole reasoning for not wanting to do it. Here's the
Yeah.
problem with that though. Sure, of course it wouldn't be. If I told the story, it'd be different than if you told the story. Of course it
Right.
is. But
Right.
he had the prestige. He was this up and coming. I mean, he was so established, right?
Yeah.
He had had E.T. and Close Encounters and Jaws or whatever. I thought it was the most perfect person. It's not like we had a lot of movies of black people. There were always caricatures or comedies or, do you know what I mean? Like this was a substantial movie back then, a
Hmm.
story about people.
Yes.
And that's what and so I was mad at him when I saw him in the interview saying, "Yeah, I mean, I don't know how he said it, but he was like, yeah, I wish I didn't do. It. I wish somebody else had done it of color because." And I was like, "No, that's not the answer. They,
Right.
I wish we lived in a world where, yeah, there was a black man or a black woman who was prominent enough."
Right.
because none of us would have
Because
seen
I
the
mean, 'cause
movie.
I don't think there was a prominent director
I think it
during
was like
that
Spike
time.
Lee back
But
then, and
Spike Lee was still new, and I don't think Spike Lee had the depth.
it's just not his. It's a different
That
thing. It's
wasn't
a
his
different movie.
that wasn't
Right,
his lane.
right.
And to tell someone else's story. I think because Spike always he inserts himself into everything he directs, and
That's
there's
fair.
no way for he can't do
That's
that with that story. You have to be honest and vulnerable and direct and be truthful in telling that
good
story.
storyteller. Yep.
Yeah, and
Really good.
he's a great and Spielberg was a great storyteller.
He is. I
Um,
love him. I
he's a great guy.
And
Yeah.
that movie, and and then when I saw Schindler's List, I was like, my God, he's an amazing. I mean, we always knew that, but
Hmm.
these were two really deep, profoundly transformative films and
Hmm.
painful
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
moments of joy, But
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
I've never met anybody else who has said that The Color Purple is their favorite movie. Never.
Yeah, I and from my mom and for people in that age group, they don't like it. And I understand why they don't like it because my mother grew up in the South. She grew up picking cotton as a child. She grew up
Mhm.
she grew up in that environment. What you saw on screen and the violence. My grandfather wasn't violent, but she saw stuff like
It's
that.
all right.
Um, so it just hit different. She's like, it took her back to a very negative
Bad
place,
time, yeah.
a very sad time for her. So she's like, there's nothing there for me. So she's like, I tried to watch it because I didn't know what it was. And she's like, when I saw it, it made me enraged. It just took me back to
I have
a
people who read
different
the book
place.
too and felt the same way. Like, I mean, I read the book after I saw the movie.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's a painful story. I mean, it's like Schindler's List. I mean, I'm not saying they're the same. It's like there are some movies I don't want to see again, but I will
Hmm.
never forget them. Like never.
Yeah.
I've Color Purple way too
I
many
can,
times.
I watch The Color Purple and Purple Rain every time they come on TV.
Right. Oh,
I'm
Purple
like,
Rain. Okay, what are your top
Purple
three?
Rain.
All right. Go ahead.
Uh, uh, The Color Purple, Purple Rain, and what's another favorite that's gonna always come on that I'm gonna enjoy? Believe it or not, the first thing that came in my head was School Days
Oh
by
yeah,
Spike
School
Lee.
Day is good. That's Spike Lee.
Because school days took me to my college years because I was just in college during that time, so I was identifying a lot with
Yep.
a lot of that stuff. It was like a couple of things made me cringe,
I need to watch it again, but
like
that
when
was fun.
Tisha Campbell's character starts licking.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. I don't wanna
Wait,
watch
no,
it again,
but you
actually.
remember? No, I don't know. It's nothing bad. I mean, it's
Oh,
nothing too. It's
no.
vulgar, but it was cringe. Like she's
Cringy.
licking the part of his head. Like
Yeah, it's
I was
gross.
like, ew. Like what?
Um, yeah, my top 3 are The Color Purple, Field of Dreams, and 2001: A Space Odyssey. Those have always been my
Mm.
top 3 movies,
Mm.
and
Oh,
it encompasses everything that I am anyways, right?
oh, but I gotta put the Wiz in there because the Wiz was the
Ooh,
first.
The
The
Wiz.
first. The I gotta put the Wiz in there only because
He's on down the
yeah.
road.
Because it's 1978. I was a little kid, and my mom took me to see it at the Cinerama Dome over in
Oh, here,
Hollywood.
yeah.
Yeah, and you have to. If anyone who's from LA, they know the Cinerama Dome, especially back in the 70s and 80s. That huge theater. It covers half
And
the
it's like
the
in a half
theater,
circle.
and it's a half circle,
Yeah,
and so it's almost like you're encompassed in the movie. You're in the movie.
that is
So
I love
lots
the
of
Wiz, and at my graduation, 8th grade graduation, I'll never forget it, Carol McIntyre came and sang "If You Believe." I can't sing the song.
really.
Yeah, she came and sang, Carol McIntyre is, I guess they call him Joey now, but Joseph McIntyre's sister
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah,
Rock. So
yeah,
she came,
yeah.
I was in 8th grade, and she came and she sang for us, and I'll never forget it. Like I was crying, she was singing "If You Believe." Um,
Wow.
within your heart, you'll know
Yes, you'll know.
that no one can change
Change
the
the
past.
path that you must go.
I can't sing for shit, but you know it.
Believe what you feel and
And
know
know
you're
you're
right
right
because
because the
the
time
time will
will
come around when
when
you will
they say
say it's
it's yours.
yours. Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
singing even though I can't sing. I love
That's
it.
okay.
No.
And speaking of the Wiz, I got to see the show before it went to Broadway with
Oh,
Wayne
did
Brady and
you?
everybody.
I did not.
Yeah,
Amazing.
and let me tell you, I ended up seeing it twice. And the reason why is because another fun fact, I was on Let's Make a Deal. It's coming out at the end of the month.
Did you
So
win? Oh, you can't say. You can't
I
say.
can't say.
You can't
I
say.
can't say, but yeah, I was on Let's Make a Deal, and I got called. I talked to Wayne. I told him how excited I was about being there. Of course, you have to be extra, extra.
Right, with
So I
Wayne
was,
Brady. Is it Wayne Brady?
yeah,
Wayne Brady, yeah.
yeah, you have to be really extra. And but I also told him that Alma's school was taking their kids to see the show, and it was the first time for a lot of these kids to see
Yeah, a
an
Broadway
actual
show.
show. And I think I'll probably say 96% of the kids had never been to a show before.
Of course.
And so I told him about that, and he said, "Well, I'll tell you what, I'll come out and I'll meet the kids after the show." So we go see the show. Unfortunately, he got sick. He was sick that whole week.
Oh, no.
But Deborah Cox came out.
Really?
Yeah,
Stop.
I have photos. I have photographic
Okay,
evidence.
well, that's cool. I think
So
that's
not
kinda better,
it,
don't you think? No
yeah.
no offense, Mr.
No,
Brady.
no shade, no shade,
No shade, no
no shade,
shade,
no
baby,
shade.
but I'll take that.
Um,
Take
so
that.
Deborah Cox came out, and so did Alan Mingo Jr. He played the Wiz while he was out,
Okay.
and Alan Mingo was actually he's a Broadway legend. He played in Kinky Boots, and I think
Oh, yeah, Boots. Right, right,
He
right.
won the Tony Award for Kinky
Oh my
Boots, and
god.
he's also been on Doom Patrol.
This is
A
so
lot.
fantastic.
So I not only did I get to meet them, but the kids got to meet them, and
Yeah.
they came and they stood there and they talked to the kids for about 10, 15 minutes, letting the kids ask anything they want to.
Wow.
And, of course, my wife said I was a hero because, not only did they get to see the show, but they got to meet the cast. And so when
That's
she came
great.
out, she didn't have her costume on. So I said, "This is the lady who played Glinda." They were like, "Oh,
Oh,
Glinda."
cool.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
I have to send you the photo so you can see it. So
Yeah, no,
yeah.
that's so cool. Okay,
Hmm.
what else? So those are your favorite movies. Those are great actually, those are great movies. I don't care about
Hmm.
School Days so much, but
Yeah, but
I'm okay with
oh,
the
it's nostalgia for me. It's the nostalgia for me.
yeah. But The Wiz is a great one too.
The
The
Wiz
Wiz
is great. Purple
yeah.
Rain is a must.
I
It
don't
it
know how
it,
people don't I mean, I love Purple I saw Purple Rain a couple times, but it was so bad, the acting.
it was so bad it was good.
Yeah,
That's what
okay, yeah, it is that. Okay, that's true,
it's
that's true.
it's
It's so
so
bad,
bad that it was
but
good.
that
It's
album
amazing because every time Morris Day would come in and do this, how's the family?
it's so wrong.
Let's go
So,
crazy.
what is your favorite I mean, I think I know who your favorite music is, but top 3.
Prince is number one.
Yeah. Oh my
Um,
god, I can't believe you and I kind of have the same number 1. Well, I'm also a big George Michael fan, but okay, go ahead. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Prince is number one. Believe it or not, this is a deep cut. Lettucey is in my top three.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Lettuce, get into it. If people don't know about Lettucey, get into it because that woman's vocals are
I'm okay with this.
superior. Like I've got to see her in concert a couple of times, and every time she sings, it goes
Through
through
you.
you. And
Mhm.
then she just did an album a couple of years ago, and they were all Nina Simone covers. With
No, okay, that I need to hear. Okay, that I
oh,
need to hear.
it's lettuce. It says
Wow.
it's
Okay,
lettuce. It says it's the Nina Simone album, and
yeah.
she just does all of them.
I
And
love Nina
then if you
Simone.
ever okay, another favorite moment of Lettucey of mine is when she goes and she sings with it's her, Jill Scott,
Oh, yeah, I know what
um,
you're talking
Marsha
about.
Ambrosia, and who was the fourth one? Kelly Price.
Wow.
Man, it was on. I think. Oh my God, my God,
Okay, who
Hallelujah.
else? So that you got those 2, who else?
Janet and Michael are
Yeah.
there side by side. I can't.
Yeah.
I'll never put one over the other. I'm kind of mad at Janet because she's recycling this tour, but it's okay. You
Why is
know.
she doing this tour again? Wasn't she just on tour just like a couple years
Okay.
ago?
Let's talk about Janet. Janet, I don't know what, baby. If you hear me, I love you so much.
We do.
And but the thing is, she did the Together Again tour, and
Oh.
now you're doing Together Again 2.0. Like
But
you're
why is
giving
she doing it?
repetitive. No, well, I don't know. You know, I can't answer. I can't tell you what people's motivations are. I mean, for all we know, it might be because it's the husband's time to have the kid. I don't know. The ex
Oh,
husband.
no.
I don't
Mhm.
know.
Right, right, right.
But as much as I love her so much, and it was disappointing for her to do the Together Again tour, and then you recycle the same name, even if it's the same stuff, give it a different name, because
Put a
give
different
me
name.
a reason. Give me a reason to want to go, because now I'm like, I don't want to go.
You're done. Right.
Especially after going to Beyonce's concert, and I was like, whoa,
Yeah. Did
did
you
you
do
go?
Taylor Swift? No, I did not go. I don't do concerts unless I have VIP tickets. I don't do concerts.
Listen,
I know.
listen, we did not
I
have
saw it in
VIP,
the
but
movie theater, though. I did go see the
oh, you
movie
did go
theater.
to the movie
I did
theater.
go. Yeah,
But
I
see, the
did.
thing is, going to the movie theater, there was songs she cut out
Yeah, of course.
that weren't in the that
The
weren't.
only the only concerts I've been to, which is not many, but it's only because I've gone VIP. I saw a Sting
Mhm.
concert. I saw George Michael in concert twice. I saw it's not a long list. My regret is not seeing Prince in concert. You saw Prince in concert, right?
Multiple times,
See, yeah, whatever.
and went
And
to his
now this
club.
interview is over. Bye.
Listen,
Bye.
listen.
Bye. Yeah.
No, 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 no. You
Bye.
not saved me
You
because
know what? I don't like crowds. So I don't
I've
like
seen him up
crowds.
close. I was like right here.
Yeah, I don't
I was
do crowds. Like, I don't want anyone near me. I don't want like, yeah, I don't do crowds at all. So I
No, one of my dear friends, Randall, he and I, we just happened to be we went to Prince's Club that night. That's when he had Glam Slam over there on Beaudry.
mhm.
And we just ran into each other, and all of a sudden Prince comes out and starts performing.
Yeah,
Had
that's
no
how you see.
idea.
Okay, that's different. That's seeing
Yeah,
him. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that is what I wish happened. That I was something
yeah.
that came out.
I've
That
seen
would have
him
been
multiple
amazing.
times. I
But
think
I would never get a like. All my friends went and saw Taylor Swift and Beyonce,
nope.
whatever, and they were like, "How many want to come?" I was like, "Absolutely not. Not interested at all." You
I'm
know what
not a
I mean?
Swifty. I'm not a Swifty at all.
Yeah. I went and saw her movie too. I get it. I understand. It's not my music, but I get it.
I'm
I
not
understand
interested.
it. Yeah. Okay. Don't hate the poor girl.
No,
She's a good kid. She's a good kid.
no, no. Who's to say? I would never know. Um, my, my daughter's best friend, Paige. She's what they call them, Swifties. Yeah, no, I'm Swiftless.
I
I'm
think I
Swift.
I think she's a good person and a good celebrity, and so I'm all for it. It's fine. It's not my music. It's not my thing.
No, it's not my
And
thing,
then
but
for me, Beyonce is just queen. I can't get over
yeah, she's up there right now.
her.
And
She's
then like
well,
I was this like her this Cowboy Carter album is really growing on me. Like I'm listening to it.
not
Yaya,
my thing, but it's an amazing album.
listen, Yaya is a bop.
Yeah,
I'm
it is
like
good. Yeah, yeah, it is.
Yaya's a bop.
I mean, you can, I listen to it from beginning to end. It's just not my thing, but it's not all country music. Like everybody
No,
thinks
it's not.
country music. But I'm still on, I'm still on formate. Well, what is it? Formation and lemonade.
Yeah.
Those are my
Lemonade.
I'm still on
Yeah.
those. You know what I mean? Like
Lemonade with well, because I think you got a lot of anger, so you might be
I
listening.
know, right? You can see the anger inside me, but
You got the anger. The anger,
I
the
also like
lemonade help you get it out.
what was the other one? The formation. What's that album?
There's four. There's the Beyonce album. There is
The one where she did with Bruno, well, not with Bruno Mars, but she did
that's a
it's
Super
not called
Bowl
Formation.
performance.
What?
That's a Super Bowl for
Yeah, yeah, that album. I love that album too. I was yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then there's the Beyonce Sasha Fierce album. It's called
Oh
I
yeah,
Am
that's
Sasha.
back in the day.
It's
Yeah,
called I Am Sasha Fierce. There's two albums on that one. That was a good one too. That was Who Run
she
the
yeah,
World.
that was to the left, right? That
Yep.
was the one.
That was
I
yeah, that
think
was
she's a
it,
genius. I know people get mad at me. I'm like, you know what? I don't know what people are confused by, but she is a performer. She's a fashion icon. She's
Hmm.
an entrepreneur.
Yep.
She's just an amazing storyteller.
As I'm sitting here wearing Ivy Park, which
This
is her
one,
brand.
yeah, yeah. She has a new the hairline thing, which I have to try. I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm just
I
saying
don't have any hair to use it. So.
I do. But I do want to try. But I'm just saying it's like she's a genius. And I don't understand why people don't, nobody wants to use that word. I'm like, I'm going to use it because you people are all late to the game. I say she just look at Prince anointed her. I'm good. I'm good.
Her dad was teaching at Mercer School this semester too.
Oh, really?
And I was really disappointed that they didn't ask him to be the keynote speaker. I was like, you have someone of you know, I was just disappointed.
But does he do a lot of public speaking? I don't know. Does he?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who he
Yeah,
is.
his website.
I know his mom, her mom. I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
her dad. Well, you have to remember. Her dad is also has his PhD now. He's Dr. Matthew Knowles
Oh,
now. So
see,
that's why he was teaching
that's
at.
a great family. That's a great
Yeah,
family.
he's teaching
Yeah.
at Pepperdine.
And I don't know
So
why people so all up in arms about Jay Z. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. That might be another private lounge. Okay. I don't, well, tell me what the issue is with Jay Z.
I personally don't want no smoke with Jay-Z.
Okay, gotcha.
I think he is a great rapper. He's one of the top 10 rappers of all time, hands down. Um, I just think it's a little cringe because he started messing with Beyonce around 16, 17. He didn't start dating her. He didn't start dating her till she was
Oh, I
18.
didn't
But
know that. Okay. I didn't know.
yeah, yeah, he got Beyonce pretty early. You got to think about it. His Beyonce is only 42, and Jay Z is 58.
Hmm.
So it's like
Okay.
15, 15. Yes,
I didn't know all that. I didn't know all that. That's all tea.
yeah.
Hmm.
So that was just kind of like
Best
my
rapper
friend.
of all time. Where do you put Eminem?
Um, I put him top five. He's pretty good. I'll give him top five. Um,
Who's your number one?
Pac, Tupac,
But we missed
Tupac,
Tupac, man.
Tupac,
Tupac,
Biggie,
Biggie.
um, KRS-One because he drops
Oh yeah,
knowledge.
that's right.
Um, I am. I think Kendrick. What Kendrick's doing right now.
I know, but I don't love Kendrick Lamar. I'm sorry, everyone. I know. Don't I mean no hate. I'm not a big
No, I
Kendrick Lamar
do. You
fan.
know what? If you take the time to really listen to him,
No, he's
he
amazing lyrics. That's not what I'm saying. There's
yeah,
just something about it. It just doesn't. It drives me insane listening to him. I don't know why. I don't like it.
yeah, but he's a wordsmith, and
Yeah,
and that's why he won a Pulitzer Prize.
yeah.
He's
This for sure.
definitely
For sure.
he's definitely a
Oh,
wordsmith.
please don't get it twisted. Just because I don't like someone doesn't mean they're not talented.
No, no, no. He's my thing, so
He did
I
not
get with
deserve
it.
that Pulitzer. That's all I'm gonna say. No,
Yeah,
that's not,
and it's funny because even I just saw an old clip of President Obama talking about this is like years ago. They were like, if if there was a rap battle between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, who
oh,
would you pick? And Obama
Kendrick
said
Lamar.
he's the Kendrick Lamar. He said he's a great wordsmith. He said, but Drake is a great entertainer.
Yeah, that's a,
You didn't call him a rapper. He said
yeah,
he's an entertainer.
entertainer. Well, but that's true. That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
That's not a. He can be mad about it all he wants. That's like Madonna. Madonna's not a great singer. She's an entertainer.
absolutely not. And let's not even get into J No. I mean J Lo.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Like Drake. That wasn't surprising to me at all. I wouldn't even put Drake in the top 20 of
What
rappers.
does Mariah Carey say about J No? She's like, who? I don't know her.
I don't. Me neither. I don't know. You know what? As a Latina woman, I want to be supportive, but she has done some real damage. I don't know what that movie was. I don't know what is wrong with this woman, but
That
Jenny from the Block
that
is.
whole thing she released on Amazon Prime was garbage.
I couldn't even watch it. I was like,
I
I'm
got through the
so
first 10
embarrassed for
minutes.
her.
I was like, this is basura.
Yeah, basura.
It's basura.
But do you remember her from In Living Color when she was one of the fly girls dancing? I mean,
I,
and then she did Selena and
But how about she was a backup dancer for Janet Jackson? Did you know that?
Oh, I did know that. You're right. I did know that.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
she was.
It's a little scary, by the way, but
But
okay.
if you look on That's the Way Love Goes, she's
Yeah,
in the.
she's on there, and my name's on there too, right? My name Carmen is on there, right? You know that I'm
Is
not.
it
Yep.
where?
Yes, you got to go look at the video. My name is
I,
on there.
I'm
See,
gonna have to go look. I'm
you're
gonna
gonna have
look
to go
at it.
look my name, yep, and they're dancing right there. It says Carmen.
Okay,
Um,
Carmen.
right. I think it's referring to the opera. It's usually what it is. Not really about me, but oh man, that was so funny that we went to Jano. How did that happen? Oh my
Oh, who
lord.
knows? But
It's
it's
so
okay.
scary. Okay, what is something that has surprised you in your life?
That people can't change. You think
That's a
you
good
think
one.
that you think people you give people the benefit of the doubt, hoping that they can change. But some people just can't change, and so you have to meet them where, or where
Mm.
they leave them where they are.
I do
I'm
notice that about you on, especially on Facebook. You do write
mm,
some things that I'm always like, what happened? Because it's not that I think that they're negative, but I can tell you being like, don't bother me when I'm successful or whatever, because you've already
yeah,
shown
it's
who
just
you is. Like
yeah, because like there's a post I just posted just the other day. It's like I'm not. It's basically I'm just selective about who I let into my space now.
Mhm,
And because you let all these people into your life, and I'm very guarded as an individual. I believe in boundaries. I believe in setting boundaries with people. I believe in, creating a safe space for people. But when I let my guard down and I'm now vulnerable to you, and you take advantage of that,
mhm.
then we're done. And like I don't come back from that. And I don't know if that's a good trait or a bad trait.
I think it's a good
But
trait. I think it's a good trait.
but for me, I don't believe in going back. I believe in putting the car in park, letting you out, have a nice life, and I drive away and I look at you in the rearview mirror and you get further and further away till you're not there anymore.
Right, right.
And I've told my daughter the same thing. I said,
Mhm,
put people in your rearview mirror and keep driving, and
mhm.
then they won't be there anymore. But the thing is, for me, like I really went through a lot recently with my father.
Mhm.
We've had a very volatile relationship where it goes up and down. We can be in a really great place, but then it can turn on a dime and it can get really, really bad.
Wow. Okay.
And
Mhm.
so that's why I say that you give people the opportunity to change, but when you see that they can't, you have to meet them where they are, and then you have to change,
You
and
have to move
I have
on.
to, and you got to move on. Like my dad was here, and after he left, I decided that we need a break.
Mhm.
I have to give myself a break. I have to give my family a break. I have to give my spirit a break.
Yep.
My
Oh, I'm the
soul.
queen of walking away from people. Queen. Because
Yeah,
it's
but
a survival
it's different
mechanism.
when it's a parent. Like it's
Yeah,
really
no,
different
well,
when it's a
I can
parent.
only imagine, but I'm a true believer that one of the skill sets people don't have is the ability to walk away. Like,
Hmm.
there's the other side of it too, right? Will people be like, "I hate you. I hate everything
Mm-mm.
about then why are you coming and watching my show
No,
every week?"
no,
Like
don't
I'm
do
not
that.
asking you, you know what I mean? It's a weird thing. People like to be in chaos, they like to
But
be
then
around.
you have all of these, finger, what do they call them, thumb bullies, where they just feel like they can say anything they want to say to
Mhm.
you online, and then, but if you saw me in the street, you wouldn't say that to my
Never say
face.
it. Never
Say
say
it to
it.
my
That's right.
face.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I don't believe, but I also believe that people can innately be good, but I don't know what your journey is. So
Mhm.
you might be in a different place in your journey to get there to that good sweet spot. And but I can't take that journey with you. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes if you're taking me on your journey and I feel like your journey is about to this boat is about to go over a waterfall, I'm jumping out. I'm gonna
Right.
jump out before.
Right. Well,
you
I
go
mean,
off
I
that cliff
think
by
I
yourself.
mean, the blessing of being able to walk away from people is that when you can walk away from people, not only does it create a whole new space for you to breathe and to feel good about yourself, but it allows really good energy and really good people to walk into your life. And that was the minute I understood that as a kid, that I could
Yeah.
walk away from people who were just hurting me over and over and over again. And it's gonna be a minute before it feels better. But if
Yes.
you just go through the process, on the other side of that is always something better, someone better, and a new person to talk to. And I think it's a great thing that you do that. I sometimes just feel sad because I'll see it on Facebook and I'll be like, who did what to that man? Who did what
Yeah.
happened?
You know what, because that's, because I don't always want to be confrontational because I cut too deep. Like I cut to the quick.
Mhm.
And and like as they say, I cut to the white meat. So, you know,
I
I
cut
don't
to the bone,
I
baby.
cut to that bone. So
Right.
I don't want to do that. So if something
Like a
hits my
release to put it on Facebook. Like,
it's a release because I'm never really calling anybody out.
oh, you never call anyone out, but I'm like, somebody
Mm-mm.
did something again. Like,
No, but see, but the thing is, but it's also just a general warning. Like, don't do that to me because I will give you the shirt off my back. I will do anything for you if you ask me to within reason. I'm a reasonable person. However, I do believe in boundaries. I do believe, like, for example, I had somebody ask me for money just out of the blue. I hadn't spoken to this person in a long, long time. And I'm like, hi, first of all. And then,
how you been? Right?
how
Like,
you been? Um,
"Good."
And then no, I'm not giving. I don't have it. I would say I don't have it right now. And then
Mhm.
they would come back again. Well, if I can't have this much, can I have this much? I said, well, I don't have that either.
Oh, okay.
And then finally, it got to the point. I said, I tell you what, give me your Zelle, and when I have it, I'll send you some money.
Ooh, you're nicer than I am. Yeah.
No, they still waiting. But now, but now,
Ah,
but now, my point was, I've given you what you wanted to hear in some fashion.
and now we can move on.
And now we can move on because I tell you, whenever I have it, then I'll send it to you.
Right.
If you don't receive anything in your Zelle,
I ain't
that
got it.
means I ain't got it. So that
Right.
means you don't have to ask me
I
again.
think people tend to be really bold because they think, like, people have a perception that they think we're rich or that we have money or whatever it is, or they think we can get it. So then they feel, I have never, it, if I ask somebody for money, we're in a really deep place because it takes a lot for me to have to ask somebody for money, and I don't even
Right.
remember when the last time was. But again, I think there's also a blessing in this because I think you and I are the kind of people that have people in our lives that if we need money, it's not about asking, they're going to know. They go, baby, can I help you? What's going on?
Yeah.
What you need,
What
Mario? You all right? Can I hook
yeah.
you up with something? You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that's something that people don't have, that
No.
we take for granted maybe because we do have people in our lives that would get that. And even if they ain't got the money, they I got you. What's
They're
going
gonna try
on?
to help you figure it out. How
Help me
about
figure
that?
it out. Right,
They're gonna
right.
help. They're gonna. Those are the type of people I believe in having in my life. My circle is real, real small. Because like I think my best friend, she and I have been best friends since 1984, 85.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
She's Marissa's godmother. We have fought.
That's friendship though. That's a real friendship.
Yeah, but we have fought and we have not spoken to each other
Yep.
to give each other space.
Mhm.
But I love that woman. Like
Mhm.
there's nothing
What's
I
her
would.
name?
If
Jenny?
her name is Sheila Yvonne Brunson.
Oh, Sheila. Who's Jenny?
Jennifer, that's Alma's best friend.
Oh, that's right. Okay, sorry, I'm getting confused.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, Jennifer is Alma's best friend. She was my best friend.
Okay.
Um,
So Sheila? Sheila?
Sheila Brunson,
Okay.
my friend. And
Mhm.
then, oh, here's another good story for you.
Go ahead.
Just switching subjects. So it's something you want to know about me.
I do. Go ahead. Tell me.
Okay,
Me and
something about me.
everybody else in the world. Go ahead.
Something that's okay. Something about me that would be that's an interesting story. I was with someone before Alma, and we were in a relationship for 3 years. We had a relationship that I thought was going to be my future, and she cheated on me with my best friend who was living in my house.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That is unbelievably bold.
In my house.
You didn't
So,
want to.
but the thing is, I didn't know they were cheating in my house because I introduced this his shit. I don't care. Um,
This is gonna be okay. You don't want me
but
to beep
anyway,
that out? Okay.
you don't have to put that in there. But I just had to get that out of my
You
spirit.
had to get it out. Okay, okay, okay.
So I break up with her, and next thing you know, he's coming to my house. He's coming home because he's staying with me. He's coming home. He said, "Hey, how's everything going?" Like, you already know what's going on. Then while he's sitting there, she calls and she says, like, she don't know me. This is the bad part. I call. I said, "Hello, hello, man. Speak to you."
Wow.
I, I'm gonna save all the expletives
So I don't
but
have to
just
beep them out.
you don't
No.
have to beep them out. But just know that there was like, I know you ain't calling here. Don't
Right.
you ever call my house again asking for somebody else. Da 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 da. Uh, he comes home. He goes back and leaves the house. Next thing he comes back, she asked for your stuff. I said, well, she can send me my stuff. So he comes back with my stuff.
Okay, that's
Why?
crazy.
But why are you coming back with my stuff?
Yeah.
And
That,
I'm asking him like, why are you coming back with my stuff? And then I told him also, I said, why is she calling for you? I said, I tell you what, if you want to talk to her so bad, talk to her from your mama's house.
that's right. Oh, okay. That's what I was waiting to hear. Exactly.
I said, talk to her from your
You're
mama's
from your
house.
mama's house. Did he
And
leave it?
he left. So that let me know right then and there. Now you supposed to be my friend. I've known him the same amount of time that I've known Sheila since 1985. And you do that to
That's
me.
just
That
ghetto.
was some rank stuff. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the underlying tone, whatever went on. If you're supposed to be my friend, but he showed me. But see, sometimes people show you that they're not your friends, and you miss the signs because there were other signs before then that were coming on that there
Right.
were red flags that I kept ignoring. Not that I didn't see them, I ignored them,
Why did you ignore
and
them?
because I hoped for better.
I hoped for better. Oh, that's a good answer. I hoped for better.
I
That's a good
hoped for
answer.
better
You give
because
people chances. Yeah.
yeah, I hoped for better. But the thing is, that goes back to my thing is, people are going to be who they are.
Yeah.
And so therefore you have to respect who they are, but you have to be strong enough to
To what?
say, okay, I see it. It is what it is.
In the rearview mirror. Bye.
Bye. And
Yeah.
so I gotta put you in the rearview mirror. Fast forward, they got married, had 3 kids.
Are you serious?
But the tragic thing is he's dead. That's tragic.
When did he die?
Probably about 4 years ago.
Oh,
But he didn't make 50. So about like 4 years ago. And it was so unfortunate because I got a phone call from one a mutual friend from my ex to tell me that he had passed. I was like, I'm sorry.
and you don't talk
I,
to. You're not sorry, but yeah. And what about
no,
Portia?
no, no, no. I don't ever, there was many things I wish on people, but death is never one of them. I don't wish, and then
I
the
didn't. I
fact,
didn't say you wished it on them.
no,
I just
no, but
said.
but I didn't cry, and that's the thing, because at the end of the day, they had kids, and I have a soft spot for children because children didn't ask to be here.
They're gonna be fine.
So
They'll be all right.
I
I'm
listen.
mean. I'm so. You know what? As I get older, I know. As I get older, I
I'm not
have.
gonna say that. I'm not gonna
I'm
say
just
that.
saying. As I get older, I'm like, you know what? Everybody has a story. Everybody has tragedy in their lives, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody needs to walk through it
Mm-hmm.
and
But see,
move
the thing is,
through.
you need to walk. Everybody needs to walk through the fire,
You got to
and
do it your own way.
so
Yep.
and we all
You
have
didn't kill
to.
him. You didn't
I
do
did
anything.
not.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
did not. Listen, they on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast, minding my business. So
That's right.
that ain't got nothing to do with
I
me.
ain't gonna bleep it out. I think they
So,
should know. I'm just kidding. I didn't know he died. Okay, I'll bleep out his name, but I like the story.
yeah,
Oh, but what?
yeah. But he unfortunately passed away, and it was something random, like he had broken a leg or something, and he had a cast, and his leg was swelling up. It changed the cast out, and he threw a blood clot and died instantly.
That's sad.
It's
Mm.
tragic.
Well,
I feel bad because, like I said, they have kids, and I think his child was still his oldest daughter was still in high school. I think my
yeah,
daughter, my daughter, and their daughter are the same age.
yeah. Again, I got nothing here. I don't know
But
them.
listen, it was, and I was really
And we
mad.
spending all this time talking about him, and he
No,
cheated
no,
in your
no, yeah,
house
but
with
it's a
this
good story
woman.
because I want people to understand that if something or someone is for you, then they're for you. But if they're not for you, then they got to go. And then what'll happen? And you see what happens. Sometimes God will show you their fate, and you're nowhere around.
That's all I'm saying. I'm
You
not.
understand
I
what I'm saying?
didn't wish nothing on anybody. Whatever. I send blessings to
Mm-mm.
the children, but I don't. There are just 8 billion people in the world. I can't care about everybody. You know what I mean?
But
Especially
my
if
thing
they
is,
hurt
and
me.
my whole point was, there were 8 billion people in the world, and he had to choose that person.
That's what okay. You see what I'm saying? Like, so for me, look at people get so, pearl clutchy about our natural feelings. I'm sorry, I don't know the man. And I'm like, you know what? I'm
Mm-mm.
sorry what happened to you happened, but makes sense to
And
me.
and the friend that called to let me know about his passing, I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then my next comment was, "Well, she jumped off of me to jump to him. She'll jump to somebody else."
Nope. See? That's what I'm saying. Like, it'll be fine. People have to move through.
I'm
Mhm.
like, "She'll be all right. She'll find somebody else."
That's what I'm saying. Okay, we have to end on an up note, on a positive note.
Let's go.
What
Wait,
is
okay.
something you want to share with people? So I was gonna do this whole question thing that they do on Bravo and the actors, whatever. But then I was like, I don't want to steal this stuff because then they'll come after me or something if I ever.
No, they won't. It's
But
I've seen Vogue do it. I've seen other
okay,
people do
what's
it.
your favorite swear word?
Fuck.
Really? Okay,
Motherfucker. No, motherfucker.
mother, but just like that, motherfucker
Motherfucker.
with an AH. Okay, I like.
Mother. Yeah, METH. Motherfucker.
Um. Okay, you die, you get to the pearly gates of heaven. What do you want to tell Saint Peter? Right? Isn't that what he says? He says something like,
Hmm.
"Uh huh."
I say, I'm sorry for all the bad things. I regret them. Please forgive me and open the door so we can come on in and turn up.
Okay. What's another one? What's another one on that show? I didn't write them down because I always hate copying people.
No, it's
Um,
okay. I mean, just give me rapid fire.
I
What
don't
do you
have
want to
any more
know?
rapid fire. Those are the ones I wanted to ask you questions about pop, but we've gone way over, but it's okay.
No,
Um, unless you have to go, you don't have
no,
to.
I got time.
Okay. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about politics. Just
Okay.
in general, if you wanted to share your political viewpoint of what's going on in the world today. Not the world, but in the United States specifically.
The one thing that's bothering me most right now are these kids protesting on campuses. I
Mhm.
appreciate the protest. I appreciate what you stand for. I respect what you stand for. However, you are disrupting the children who are graduating this year who did not get graduations for 2020. My child was included. And I would
Oh,
be devastated for my daughter not to be able to walk across that stage.
mhm,
And because of some foolishness that you are creating, that you can protest somewhere else.
mhm,
I'm
mhm.
not telling you not to protest, but
Right.
do that somewhere else. Don't
Mhm.
steal something from them because of something that's happening somewhere else.
Right.
That's really that's really my hot take right now, because
Mhm.
I get mad for the parents who had to sit with their kids in 2020 and watch them. do their first year of college on Zoom, and
Right.
the mental health
Or
challenges that a
graduate
lot of
on Zoom. Some of the kids that had
who
to graduate in
my
Zoom.
daughter graduated on Zoom.
Yeah.
So that stuff bothers me. So for other kids, to other people who, number one, don't even go to the school. Number two, the other people who are um, undergrads, where it won't affect you, give these kids the respect that they deserve. I'm here for you protesting. Yes, because it's right. What they're saying is right on both sides. They all have valid points, and I'm here for a good protest. Just don't disrupt these kids who have already suffered enough.
Mhm.
That's what's
They're
pissing
not
me
even
off.
thinking of that though. I mean, I have huge problems with people protest like people are protesting and then, they can't point to
Why
God
they're
on a
protesting?
map. You know what I mean? They don't know where
Right.
Jerusalem is, or and it's kind of like, but look it, I'm fine with the protesting, but I totally hear you. I think for me too, it's almost like um there's a lot of noise and not a lot of nuance thinking and like all over the place, not just with the students, but
Yeah.
a lot of noise, not a lot of nuance, but that's what we've become now. It's always the flash, the line, the headline.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah. And
Substance.
then people get stuck on sound bites without listening
That's the
to
word,
to
soundbite.
get they're getting stuck on sound bites, and they're not investigating to find out the whole
Are you
story.
voting for Trump?
Baby, listen.
Sorry, I'm just kidding.
No. I mean, listen, I'm not happy with either choice, but but Joe, he's done the best that he could do. Um uh People are upset with him about food prices, which he has nothing to do with. And that's what I really believe in, people getting knowledge. And like my pastor used to say way back when, he says he would always say, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge,
Yes, that's true.
because you don't take the time to read and look up things, and it pisses me off because the white man used to say back in the day, if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in the book.
Yep, that's right.
You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so if you want to remove that stigma, read.
People
It
yeah,
doesn't have to be a physical book, but
at
read
least
from.
Google.
But
You can
you can't trust
Google.
Google, because
Well,
Google
I'm
be
just saying, but you can.
putting up
I
some
mean,
bullshit.
do some research. I mean, you don't have to go to the library to find a book or find you. You
No, but there, I mean, you
can
can go
find.
online and start finding some good information
Yeah.
out there, valid information, and get educated, and know and make a educated decision about what it is you want to do.
I
It,
keep telling people if you don't know enough, like I'm doing the opposite now, which I know Democrats going to get upset with me. I'm like, if you only have one issue or you don't know enough about politics, don't vote. I'm done with
no,
stupid ass people voting. I'm done.
yeah,
I don't want
especially.
everybody to be able to vote.
And then, like, you read online and you see some of these young black kids, and it's pissing me off because these young black people who are just so ignorant in their choices, because they're saying, well, I'm voting for Trump because he gave me a check. No, he
No, he
didn't give
did
you a check.
not.
He didn't give you a check.
He signed it, but he
He
did not give you.
signed the check.
That's
He didn't
right.
give you the check, you moron.
And
Like,
there
just
was no need for him to sign it either. He did it because he's an ego maniac. But
and so it's just like they're not doing the work.
yeah.
And you know, these swing states, and let's not even get me started
Okay,
on Tim
okay, we're done.
Scott.
We're done with politics. We just little bit, little bit.
I
What
just
is?
gotta say, Tim Scott is an ass.
Oh, he so is.
He's an
What's
ass.
sad is he's a black man. It just doesn't make any sense to me that he's doing what he's doing. And
He is the definition of coonery.
ooh, yes, he is.
And if you don't know, ask your mama.
Shoot. Or Google him. So,
Google him.
oh,
Look up.
because they wouldn't know what coonery is.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
And
Remember
they can look it
Shirley
up.
Temple and Bojangles? I mean, do you remember that whole thing with
Mm-hmm.
Shirley Temple and Bojangles? And I
Mm-hmm.
remember because
Yeah.
as a dancer, I knew who he was, but
And
most
Amos and Andy.
yeah, like most people didn't know who these amazing, brilliant dancers, performers were
Mm-hmm.
because they were basically used as buffoonery because it was the
Yep.
only work they could get, but they were the
Yep.
masters of this trait. Yeah, we've
Yeah,
lost a lot of nuance. It goes back to what you were saying. You know, we don't learn, we don't go deeper. You know, we just have those sound bites, and yeah,
it's tragic for me, and as I get older and I really want to see the young people win, that's why I always try to talk to Marissa about, but Marissa's very savvy though. I got to give her that.
yeah,
She can articulate her point. She can say,
right.
this is what I feel, this is why I feel,
Mhm.
this is why I feel the way that I feel based upon the information that I've read. This is what I've
Yeah, but she's not voting for Trump. I'm not confused by that.
No, not
Not
at all.
one bit. That's what I'm saying. Okay, here's my question. Now
Mhm.
my question. First of all, I love that you've become part of All About the Joy family. No, I am. I'm so grateful. Can you share a little bit about what you like about All About the Joy?
I love All About the Joy because everybody is authentic. There's authenticity there. There's joy there. There's fun there. There's laughter there.
Yeah,
I think no matter what we're talking about, you're gonna always find some laughter.
some
You're
laughter.
gonna Laughter is important. Laughter is healing. Laughter is curing.
Yeah,
Joy, it really laughter releases endorphins.
it
So it's important, and I love that we touch on all the different topics that are going on. Um I always want us to talk about what brought us joy for the week before
yeah,
you start anything else. That's so important. Like, I can talk about this week. What brought me joy was
yeah. What
watching my
brought you?
baby. What brought me joy was putting my daddy on a plane and sending him home. And
But watching
see,
your baby, I cut you off. What was the
yeah,
good?
watching my baby walk across the stage
That's
in
right.
Malibu, and them calling her name,
Yeah,
and and watching her be able to see all four of her grandparents stand there,
so
and
thing.
it and then we and watching her smile and just say, I did it. In
Yeah,
in spite of, because for her this was an uphill climb,
right.
and then she's not stopping. She's decided to go ahead and get her master's. So
Of course. I like it. I'm not even surprised by that, but that's beautiful. That's amazing.
yeah, so that brought me joy. My wife brings me joy every day. And
Yeah, we
even
know
if
about your wife. We're over it.
no,
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 we're not. I'm just
seriously, like,
kidding. Go ahead. Give her some
she,
love. I'm just kidding.
give
Go
her
ahead.
some love,
Yeah.
and like my immediate family, they bring me the most joy.
Mhm.
Um, I love being by the water. So being by like we went to Burton Chance Park in
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course.
yeah, that's one of my favorite places. So I'll go walk all the way to the end and sit on the at the table or one of the benches and just
Yeah,
watch the boats go by. That brings me joy. You
yeah.
know,
I have my
it's
bench here in Santa Monica where I sit. I just love it. It brings me such happiness and joy. Yeah, for
finding serenity
sure.
brings me joy. I'm looking forward to our vacation. I'm looking forward to
When are you
spending
when are
time
you
with
guys
them.
going? Oh, you're going next week, right?
We go in Cabo, yeah.
But you go next
So
week. Don't you leave on
yeah, we leave on Friday.
Awesome. Well, on
So
that note, man, it has been so awesome to have you on
I
in the
feel like I didn't
private
cover.
lounge.
I didn't feel like I feel like I didn't cover enough. I
Well,
feel
we'll
like
have you back on again. What do you mean? You know, we've been on for an hour and 40 minutes.
okay.
Um,
So
no, no,
basically, what
no.
you're saying is shut up. No.
I'm not saying shut up. I'm saying it's gonna be a lot for me to edit. I think I'm just gonna let it run. I might just beep out two of your friends, but I think this is just part of it. It's just getting to know you a little bit better. It's just having a little private lounge and people see you on the
Yeah,
show and stuff. So I am so grateful that you came on the show and
I love you.
yeah, and wait, we love you on All About the Joy, but I love you personally. I'm glad we reconnected.
Yeah,
We
me
had a touch
too.
for a while. We weren't
Yeah,
doing good stuff, but we're now connected again. So let's not let that fall apart again. I'm gonna
never.
do a better job
No,
about that. I need
no, no,
like
no.
I think that's what I realized. Like it's just easy. You're easygoing, right? You're easygoing. There's no drama talking to you. There's no drama. It's like we picked up like it was just yesterday we were talking. And
That's it.
that kind of friendship, you can't take that for granted. You got to keep those people around that just make your life comfortable and easy.
That's what I'm saying. And like one of my friends, Rebecca, she says, "Now it's bad when somebody pisses you off because you try to go out of your way to be sweet to everybody." I said, "I really do." I
Yeah.
really, really do. I try my best to lead with love and kindness, but I can be very direct. I can be very blunt.
No,
Um,
that's not me at all. I'm very shy and
yeah,
quiet. I'm very shy and
yeah, no, no. I am. Believe it or not, I am an introvert. I have
no, I do know
extrovert.
you are. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very much the introvert. It takes a lot for me to go out with people. It takes a lot for me to get out of my bubble and go hang out. Because my friends will say, "Well, somebody will come and invite me to something," and I'm like,
Mm.
uh, and so when I show up, they're like, "You made it? You actually
Right,
came?"
right. You gotta do it at your own time. You gotta do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? But that's what I love
Yeah.
about it. It's a very simple I feel like it's easy to be friends with you, so I love that. So I'm glad
Well,
we
thank you.
but
Thank
listen,
you.
we're gonna have you back on the show when you come back in 2 weeks, right?
2 weeks.
You're
Yeah.
doing your cruise. We want of course, you're always welcome to come on to the neighborhood chat, but we'll do another private lounge and maybe we'll do a more rapid fire
I
kind
would
of
love to do let's do rapid fire. Like
we'll do a
get
rapid
some
fire
questions. Get
session. It'll
like
be so much fun.
yeah, let's
But I
do that.
needed this too, though. I needed to get this kind of just flavoring out. This was good.
Yeah, I just I have a lot going on. Like I said, with everything that happened with my dad and everything with Marissa graduating, and there's just a lot of going on. But I try to push forward. It's hard. Some days I don't want to get out of bed. That's just the truth.
Mhm.
Some days today was one of those days. I was like, I got too much to do, but I got, that bed was calling my name.
Right.
What if I don't go to church on Sunday? I'm worshiping at Bedside
Right.
Baptist.
I love that. Still worshiping, it matters. It matters,
Yeah,
so
but because that's what I call my bed on Sundays. It's Bedside Baptist, missionary church,
so
and
funny.
I'm laying on my pillow saying my prayers with my eyes closed, and I'm like, like,
Are you gonna go rest now? Are you gonna go rest?
no, I have to go finish packing. I got to pack because I got
I have to finish doing some work and then I have to go to work tomorrow morning and then we're gonna do the show, and then I'm
and
just
I'm gonna be on the road when the show is on because I have to go take my
that's
dog.
okay.
Yeah, because I have to drop my dog off way out somewhere and then come back and then get ready to leave.
Right.
So it's
Okay. But we will have you on when you come back and you can tell us all about your trip. So
I
thank
love
you
to.
for being on the show. I love you, my friend, so
I
much.
love you more.
Thank you so much for doing this. And everyone, thank you so much for listening to All About the Joy, the private lounge. We'll be
Private
back
lunch, private lunch, private
again. Thanks for stopping by All About the Joy. Be better and stay beautiful, folks. Have a sweet day.